Here at Natural Lands, we use prescribed fire for, quite a few different reasons. One, we manage our warm season and our pollinator meadows with fire. Fire will reduce invasive plants. It actually adds ash to the ground, which becomes available to the plants in nitrogen form. So it actually speeds up the growth of stuff. The black on the ground, once you do burn, your soil temperatures will increase 8 to 10 degrees as the sun warms that black up, and it will actually, really green the stuff up. Once you get a little bit of rain, within a week and a half to 2 weeks, you'll just have this beautiful flush green meadow with rejuvenated plants. Most meadows, if we're doing, we kind of burn them on a 3 to 5 year rotation. The more you burn, the more grasses you'll have. The little less you burn, it's a little bit better for your forbs. Plants, pollinators, bees and stuff like that will like. We also use fire in the serpentine barrens, which is, again, a good disturbance for the serpentine barrens and encouraging the openness of the barrens and just encouraging some of the native kind of rare and endangered plants that occur at the serpentine barrens. On a given burn, if we're burning, say, 15, 20 acres, by the time we come in, do our briefing, put fire on the ground, a test fire, and proceed, you're usually anywhere from 4 to 6 to maybe 7 hours, depending on the size of the actual burn. Fire on the ground may only be for, say, 2 to 3 hours. And again, if we're burning meadows, there's not a lot of mop up or stuff to put out after we burn, because the fire will pretty much smolder out and is completed at that point. Keep in line, we either use hiking trails, and we'll maintain that with, either hand tools. We use bladder bags, which is 5 gallons of water in your back with a little hand pump. We also have 2 gators that have slip-on units on, which hold 75 gallons of water, and we can actually just wet line and hold the fire right there. Or sometimes we'll actually create fire breaks where we will cut the fuels, rake them or blow them out of the way and have it down to basically soil that the fire cannot burn through.
So one of the great things about the Natural Lands Prescribed Fire program is we have these UTV mounted fire suppression units. And one of the really trick things it can do is actually suck water or draft water from a waterway. Here we have a little stream, fill our gator, and we can actually fill other machines upstream as well. First things we need to do is we need to remove all the water out of this suction line or draft line. A lot of valves on these machines, but it is pretty intuitive. Start the motor. And now we're moving water from the stream through the pump and into our tank. And that's how we're able to use our existing water resources on our properties to help us do our job for fire suppression and prescribed fire here at Natural Lands.
So what it takes to do a burn is we write a burn plan. A burn plan covers all the topics in using fire. The weather conditions, which include relative humidity, the temperatures. It covers also what type of vegetation is growing there, what the parameters are, the highs and low of relative humidity and temperature, so that we can keep the fire obviously contained and under control. It has neighbors in it listed, who we need to contact, who we need to notify in the morning of, local fire companies, the Bureau of Forestry, DEP with Department of Environmental Protection, DCNR, the Department of Conservation Natural Resources. We notify them the morning of and when we are finished. Also includes basically the equipment that we'll have on site, what we need to have on site, what's required for that burn plan, whether it's a couple Type 6 engines or even just using gators as our equipment on the fire.